Hi everyone, hope you guys are all doing well and had a fun, safe night last night. Happy New Year's to everybody. I just wanted to do a quick video talking a little bit about my brother and I's silver endgame. Basically just talking about why we're collecting all of these precious metals, silver and gold, and also to what ends we're working towards. And in that regards too, not only do I want to talk about what we're doing, but I also hope to hear what your silver endgames are as well. So if you want to leave that in the comments below, feel more than free to do that. But just to start, I should mention that our silver endgame is focused more on events rather than on time. And by time focused, I just mean sometimes I see on different silver channels that they're going to hold silver right on through until their retirement. So whenever their retirement is going to be, they're going to hold it for 10, 20, 30 years and hold it right on through whatever happens in that time period. Also, too, it might be time focused in regards to their goal where their end game is to collect 2,000 ounces, let's say, or 5,000 ounces, and just kind of collect all the way through. Again, not really focusing too much on what happens in that period. But rather than focus on time, it may work out that we do eventually hold it until retirement, but what we're doing is we're focusing more on the events that occur. And I think that that's because we're looking at precious metals pretty much just to protect our wealth during the inflationary monetary and fiscal environment that we're in. We don't really view it so much, or at least we're not too concerned on it being an undervalued asset that we're going to sell for a profit. We're going to collect and just kind of put 10% of our wealth every year, hopefully, that's our goal anyway, into precious metals and protect our wealth that way. So because we look at silver and gold in that regard, we're more so looking at the events that are occurring that are going to probably signal to us, at least, we're not going to get it exactly right, but signal to us that it may be the time to sell off our silver and gold, or at least, sell it piecemeal, sell a little bit here and there. So just to give you an idea of what I mean by event focus, for example, in the last couple of days, just doing my research that I do anyway, I've noticed that the US 10-year Treasury yield is back up over 3% today, and that's an all-time high over the last 2.5 years. I believe the last time it was over 3 was July of 2011. So of course that's just going to signal to us that it's going to get more expensive in order to finance the debt and all the treasuries that the Federal Reserve is buying. I also noticed today too that over the last 2 weeks the excess reserves that are held by the Federal Reserve has actually decreased in the last 2 weeks. And I'll have to wait maybe a couple days, hopefully not too long, it might be a week or two, until they release the entire month of December's numbers. And, if it goes down, that might be a signal to us as well that the banks are starting to lend out their excess reserves rather than just hold on to them and put them in the Fed in order to earn that small interest rate. So we'd like to look at what's going on. Again, maybe they're going to learn eventually that the inflationary monetary and fiscal policy that they're under now doesn't make sense. Maybe we'll see a tighter monetary policy. I don't think that we'll ever see something like the gold standard, at least we're not betting on that. But, maybe they end QE or they let interest rates be dictated by the market. So we're focused on the events that are occurring rather than holding for specific time periods. That just lets us be a little bit more flexible and also works into just how we view silver and gold as protectors of wealth. So definitely not saying that that's the perfect approach. It works for us. Again, too, if you have a time-focused end game, then nothing wrong with that. Again, that probably works for you and your goals with silver stacking. So as I mentioned at the start, I would love to hear what your approach is and what your end game is at the moment. Again, too, these things might be flexible and you're just kind of stacking and collecting at this point. But I hope you guys all enjoyed the video and you're having a wonderful New Year's. And again, I hope you guys all have a great 2014. If you could like the video if you enjoyed it, that'd be great. Also, too, if you could subscribe to the channel, we'd also greatly appreciate that. But have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you next video. Bye for now.